not new, but my favorite thing now to say is like interrupt the sit. So this is about moving throughout the day. So that's why I like to do these, because I want to give you guys some ideas to do throughout the day. So let's start standing, or if you're seated, that's great too. Just let's take some deep breaths, hands on your belly. And now you can either close your eyes or you can try to gaze about 20 feet away to open up your vision, especially if you've been having a lot of screen time right now. So let's inhale in through the nose. Allow your belly to expand. Really let your belly relax. If we suck in our gut a lot, hold it in, it doesn't really allow us to get that full breath, getting the full deep air into the lungs. Okay, exhale it out of the nose, which helps slows it down. When we slow down that exhale, it helps turn on a more passive state in our body. So inhaling in through the nose, light, slow, and deep, taking it low into the belly, and also exhaling slowly out of the nose. One more time. And let's start our padding, our energy, our activation, just bringing some blood flow to the digestive system. And then let's go ahead and rub the belly. And then we're gonna bend our knees, let our arms, our shoulders shrug up, arms come up, we drop it to the ground, we shake it out. Just get that blood pumping, get everything moving. Good, and let it go. Take the left arm out, start to pat your chest and bring it down, give a little clap. And top of the hand and up to the neck and the shoulder. Thumb up, let's take it down to the thumb line, bring it back, and underneath to the pinky line. And let's take it down the side of the body. I do a little side stretch on that one. Feels good. Take it across, right arm out, and we'll come down to the palm, give a little clap. Then go top of the hand, up to the neck and the shoulder. Thumb goes up, coming down to the thumb line. Bring it back and underneath to the pinky line. Take it back and down the side of the body, open up and come to the chest, give it a little rub, and then rub the solar plexus where the ribs open and then the belly. A little hinge forward, pat your sacrum, bring it out into the glutes. Take it down the back of the legs, get the hamstrings and calves, come up the inside, up the inner thighs. Travel down the outside and up the inside. So there's this feeling of like a circular movement coming down and up the inside. And then we're gonna rotate our ribs to the left, to the right, to the left, right, and rub the belly. And then hands on the hips. I step a little bit wider and we're just gonna do some circles. And nice and smooth, let's go the other way. And just feel your pelvis really roll on top of your femur heads, which are a little ball, which is a little ball, and your pelvis is a socket. So it's a ball and socket joint, and we're just moving all around. And then we're gonna close our fists and open them wide. So really give them a nice little squeeze. Good, and then send the arms up, take a big stretch, just like open up your body. And then we're gonna send the hips back, head forward. Long line, think long. Feel free to bend your knees, come all the way down. Head can be relaxed, and then we're gonna scoop the belly and roll ourselves up. When you get to the top, roll your shoulders up, back, and down. And then stack the head. 2 more times, big stretch, reach it out, come on down, bend the knees, roll it up. The last one, out and down, bend the knees, roll it up. Awesome, roll your shoulders back and down. Let's interlace our hands, and we're gonna send the palms forward. Stretch your thumbs as if someone's pulling them. Really press through the palms. Stretch your hands and your fingers. Now bring it back towards you. Take your palms up, drop your elbows down. And just go back and forth a few times. So we're gonna stretch those hands. Good, and then we're gonna switch the lacing, so interlace the hands the other way. Do that a few times. Nice, and now let's keep them interlaced, and we're gonna go into the wrist. So I'm gonna think about sending my palm over and over. So over and over, forward. And then this one always gets tricky to me. I'm gonna come backwards and back towards me. And just getting that really nice fluid glide in the wrist. Awesome, shake that out. Let's bring our hands down onto our chair or desk. Spread those hands apart. We just stretched them, so keep them nice and spread. Bend your knees a little bit. Arms are nice and stretched. We're gonna think about our heart melting towards the ground as our shoulder blades come together, and then they spread apart. So my elbows aren't bending. I'm just gonna let my chest drop and shoulder blades expand. So we're working between the shoulder blades into the rhomboid area. Some people call this a rhomboid push-up, or I feel like I've heard it called like a puff. I don't know. There's so many names for things, right? The important thing is that you're moving the area between your shoulder blades because it gets nice and sticky. Now we're going to lift to the top of that rhomboid push-up. Think about our ribs really lifting, right? So we don't want to collapse them to the ground, so lift under the ribs, drop the shoulders, step it back into a plank position. Good. Now we're gonna send the hips up, heels down, modified downward dog stretch. Yay! If my hands were on the ground, my heels would not be actually touching. So I love a modified downward dog because I can actually get my heels down and I can get that awesome stretch to the back of my hamstrings. So in this position, I'm really thinking about almost as if a hammock is coming under these hips and drawing me up and back. So I'm feeling lifted out of the arms. And then I'm gonna come forward back into my plank, step my left foot forward. And now I'm gonna think about really kind of dropping that right hip towards the ground, get a nice little hip flexor stretch. And then we're gonna rotate our rib cage to deepen the hip flexor stretch. So use your ribs to get into the hips more. And then we'll come back, and I'm gonna step it back, lower the heels, stretch it up and back, and then step the right foot forward, sink in this left hip, draw the belly up, rotate the ribs to the right. Nice, and come back. We'll do that one more time each side. Yay. Good. Great, one more time in that modified downward dog stretch. And then come on up. I'm gonna have you take a seat. And we're gonna sit up nice and tall. And we're just going to pick the leg up and hug it in. Don't try to get your chest towards your knee. Think about lifting up and in. So this is actually a great little sitting interrupter, right? You're sitting at your desk, you push away, you lift, you're using your core, your hip flexors, you're moving, you're activating some muscles. That's what it's all about. So you can interrupt your sitting even while you're sitting. Good, next time you bring the right leg up, let's cross it over. And then I want you to think about really drawing your right knee long and your left knee. I have my left leg on top. So I'm thinking about really drawing my left knee long, and at the same time I'm thinking about drawing my left hip back. So I'm actually getting a little stretch into my hips in this position. And now I'm gonna increase it by turning the ribs. And just release. I'm going to do that a few more times. So I'm actually taking this top hand and kind of guiding, almost like I'm trying to pull my leg out of the socket. And at the same time I'm trying to do that, I'm actively trying to sit my left hip back. So I'm getting a little stretch here. Good, and you can also like play, like do you need to come forward a little bit? Do you need to rotate up? So play there a little bit. You'll feel that different stretch in the hip. Oh, that felt good. So I just came forward and I rotated up a little bit more too. Good, let's take that leg on top and then hinge from the pelvis. So the knee is dropping to the ground. So we're still getting into the hip, just a little different area here. And then again, let's come forward and let's rotate the ribs up. One more time. Awesome. Come on up. Let's switch to the other side. So float the leg up, cross it on top, and then feel as though I'm trying to pull the leg out. At the same time, I'm trying to draw my right hip back. So already I'm getting a stretch across that outer hip, and then I'm going to intensify it by adding the twist of the ribs. And then let's also play here a little bit. Maybe come forward and rotate up. So again, this is really you just finding some different places where you're feeling that stretch. I'm kind of locating it into that outer hip. Yes. And then sit up. Let's take the ankle on top, flex the foot, allow the knee to fall towards the ground. And then from your pelvis, hinge forward and come up a few times. And then come forward, and now let's rotate the ribs up to the right. And release. Let's do that a few times. Good. And come on up. Nice. Let's sit up nice and tall. Bring your elbows underneath and rotate. So think about the back of your armpits spiraling forward, and like it's a door hinge from the shoulder to the elbow. Feel the shoulder blades draw down and back. And then we want to keep that head nice and stacked. A lot of times it wants to jut forward. So think about your chin gazing straight ahead, like your chin is on a table, and you're going to just draw your chin back towards your throat. And the back of your neck is going to reach up to the sky. And that's going to put you in really good posture for the head and neck. So that's something you can check in with throughout the day, because I'm sure when we sit at our computers, we're here. So take a moment, sit up, draw the chin in, open the chest. Good. Let's send the arms up overhead. We're going to interlace again and press the palms to the sky. We're going to pick our ribs up and over to the right. And bend your elbow a little bit, and then feel like someone's pulling at the elbow. You can even do that. Take your elbow, pull it up and over more. Come on up. Let's do the other side. Up and over. Take the right arm, pull it over, but drop the shoulders. Awesome. Send it up. Send the arms wide. Come down. Let's do one more thing. Separate the legs, and we're going to come forward into the inner thighs. So we'll come forward with the spine. We'll rainbow a little side to side. And then we're going to drop it all the way down. Let your head be heavy. Breathe into your low back. Let your belly relax. And then walk your hands back up, walk yourself back up, and roll it back up, and you are good to go. So take some of those things and interrupt your sitting throughout the rest of the day today.